We are accustomed to seeing justice delivered in quiet, sterile rooms with wood-paneled walls and a judge in robes. But for centuries, disputes have been settled in the open air, amid the deafening rhythm of drums and the intense heat of a firelit forest. I am Pawan Thakur. In my work at Thakur Property Consultancy, analyzing land means understanding the historical systems that govern its people. Today, I am collecting and presenting the mechanics of an ancient, highly effective legal framework. That framework is found in the indigenous spirit worship practice known as Bhuta Kola, a tradition that has dictated social order and land rights for centuries. To find it, we have to look at this map of southwestern India. The practice is strictly observed in a narrow coastal strip called Tulu-Nadu, encompassing Dakshina Kannada, Udupi, and Kasaragod. The Daivas worshipped here, specifically Panjurli and Guliga, form the architecture of a decentralized system of ecological governance and social justice that predates the modern state. Mainstream Vedic and Puranic deities are often depicted as distant, residing in celestial realms and operating within strict cosmic hierarchies. Tuluva spirits contrast this sharply by being egalitarian, immediate, and firmly rooted in the physical world. Look at these fields. The Tuluva communities developed the concept of the Kshetrapala. This is an immediate guardian deity, permanently bound to a specific, measurable geographic territory and the exact population that works its soil. This democratization of divinity was engineered out of necessity. It allowed marginalized agricultural communities to bypass distant authorities and interface directly with a divine force to dispense immediate, tangible justice. To understand this legal system, we must examine its founding precedents. The first involves Panjurli. According to oral epics, a wild boar died in Shiva's celestial garden on Mount Kailash, leaving behind an offspring that Goddess Parvati decided to adopt. The young boar quickly grew destructive, tearing up the divine gardens to relieve the itching of its tusks. To maintain order, Shiva banished the creature from the celestial realm down to earth. This timeline schematic tracks that descent. Upon banishment, Shiva issued a strict divine mandate. The boar must protect humanity and receive their tributes. In an instant, the creature transitions from a destructive pest into a sacred Puranic protector, officially becoming the Daiva known as Panjurli. This mythology directly addresses a severe real-world ecological threat. Ancient farmers watched wild boars decimate their crop yields season after season. By synthesizing the boar into a Kshetrapala symbol hovering over an agricultural grid, the community created a framework to revere and manage an unavoidable natural danger. Panjurli's myth perfectly merges the region's harsh agricultural reality with mainstream Shaivism. The boar is successfully rebranded as a measured, compassionate protector of the fields. A functional justice system depends on the judge and the enforcer. This is where Guliga enters. Born directly from the ash and sweat of Shiva's intense dance, Guliga manifested with world-consuming hunger. He was so untamable he threatened Vaikuntha itself. Vishnu attempted to feed him mountains of meat, but Guliga's hunger was only satiated when Vishnu offered the blood from his own finger. Recognizing this dangerous volatility, Vishnu cursed Guliga to undergo a physical rebirth on Earth, specifically through the womb of a tyrannical demoness who had been terrorizing the human population. Guliga refused a normal birth. Instead, he violently tore his way out through the demoness's stomach, consuming her organs, ending her tyranny over humanity. Unlike Panjurli's role as a shield, Guliga's mythology represents raw, untamed cosmic destruction. His specific function in the Tuluva pantheon is to establish dharma by ruthlessly punishing the wicked. This split-screen timeline maps their intersection. On the left, Panjurli's linear descent to protect the land. On the right, Guliga's chaotic rebirth. When these two opposing forces occupied the same geographic space on Earth, a brutal territorial clash was inevitable. The battle stalemated until goddess Chamundi, manifesting as Jala Durga, stepped between them. She actively intervened to mandate a permanent truce, binding these two volatile forces together. This image captures the sociological outcome of that myth. We see the two ritual performers standing together under the canopy. The community adopted the divine truce, choosing to co-worship the former rivals as brothers. Binding these opposites created a complete, self-contained socio-legal system. Panjurli acts as the compassionate, measured judge who listens to the community, while Guliga serves as the relentless, inescapable executioner. The Buddha Kola functions as a liminal space where the physical and spiritual worlds intersect for the purpose of legal proceedings. The human medium, known as the patri, must complete intense protocols of ritual purity. Looking at the exact details of this makeup and costuming, you can see the intent, the total erasure of human identity, transforming the patri into a strict vessel for the daiva. The physical manifestation of possession is triggered by a crescendo of traditional drums and the rubbing of areca flowers on the patri's face. Once the transition completes, the human steps aside, and the spirit takes the floor. The possessed patri functions as a real-time oracle. Villagers step forward to present their family grievances, local property disagreements, and complex social conflicts directly to the deity. The verdicts delivered during this state are considered absolute. The community obeys the rulings without question, cutting across all traditional boundaries of class and caste. In practice, the Buddha Kola is a highly effective, decentralized court system. It successfully replaces modern litigation, resolving disputes swiftly and maintaining strict social cohesion within rural networks. The legal codes of modern states are protected in massive printed volumes. The laws, precedents, and mythologies of the Kola rely entirely on padalas, epic folk ballads passed down exclusively through oral tradition. Recent research by the Center for Media and Policy Research in India highlights the vulnerability of this approach. The rapid influx of global digital media threatens to erode the cultural relevance of these unwritten traditions, particularly among younger generations. To counter this, preservation efforts have pivoted. Immersive media technologies, digital archiving, and blockbuster cinema like the film Kantara are now actively utilized to transfer the complex meanings of this folklore to massive new audiences. Technological innovation serves as the crucial bridge, ensuring that the structural processes of indigenous Tuluva justice survive the transition into the digital era. The Tuluva tradition effectively merged ecological necessity with divine authority. By taking crop-destroying wild animals and rebranding them as guardians, these communities created a self-sustaining system of order. Ancient communities did not wait for formal state legal codes to maintain order. They engineered powerful mythological frameworks to govern themselves, using the fear of the divine to enforce the law of the land. This deep dive explanation was collected, created, and presented by Pawan Talker. For inquiries, contact Talker Property Consultancy at 900-435-2787. A system of justice remains active at the edge of the forest, long after the city's courts have closed.